one thing they don't tell you about success is that it's the loneliest road you'll ever go down. I've moved across the country to isolate myself just to chase this idea of being successful. Now I'm more isolated than ever, having conversations with my air conditioning unit, all in hopes of one day being the richest guy in the graveyard. Ever since I left high school, I had this over-glorification of success and hard work, but I never stopped and asked myself, why? Why do people choose the path to become successful? Is it to fill their egos? Is it the ones at the bottom who want nothing more than to be at the top? Is it the MLM marketers trying to get you in the next get-rich-quick scheme by selling you products that ruin your hair? I realized the reason why people choose the path to become successful is because the winner takes it all.
You're gonna do whatever it takes, do you hear me? Remember, the winner takes it all.
If you're gonna try, go all the way. Otherwise, don't even start. This was a quote from Charles Bukowski in his poem, Roll the Dice. And this was the theme of my life when I was moving to Alberta to follow my dreams. Over the past couple of months, I adopted this very winner-loser mentality. The reason why we fundamentally want to become successful is because we have a deep insecurity of being a loser. And it stems from the fact that we make a dime every time our boss makes $1. The fact that we hate our jobs and then we buy shit that we don't need to impress people we don't even care about. Comes from a lack of purpose that we're attempting to seek. Ultimately, it comes from a fact that we feel cheated. That's why we don't feel too bad when we're on our third shit break scrolling through TikTok getting hemorrhoids. I always lived an average life. I am not special. I used to be branded as unaverage Joe, but I realized I was living the most average life as possible. How can I preach these things if I'm not even living up to my full potential? I crave time, location, and financial freedom, but I didn't know how to get there. This is what separates the winners and the losers. The poor and the new rich, or you and the people who decide to sell their souls for a little bit of money. The first thing you have to do is you decide that you're not where you want to be. You decide not to be a loser anymore. You'll never get rich renting out your time. The only way you'll get rich is by building your own business. And when you create your own business, there's going to be a level of loneliness and financial insecurity that you're going to experience along the way. I had a conversation with my good friend Neil Castillo. He's a local tattoo artist in Toronto, and he went through his own isolation period to chase this idea of what it means to be a successful tattoo artist.
I just went like crazy, just like absolutely crazy, just crying almost every night, literally, and like going, like literally just spending every fucking day by myself because I didn't want to like deal with people. I didn't want to have a connection with anyone. And I became lonely. I became too reliant on the money, on just like working my ass off to like attain depression pretty much, you know what I mean? But like through that you realize so much coming out of it, you know what I mean?
Isolation is the gift. The reason why I say isolation is the gift, even though you can attain depression by being isolated, is because it's a prerequisite for success. Entrepreneurship involves risk, uncertainty, repeated failures, and insane hours that may earn absolutely nothing. Things will be hard. Finding success and meaning actually takes thought, effort, and creativity, but those feelings make it more important when you find it. If it was easy, everyone would be doing it, and it will lose its value. You'd rather try something ambitious and fail than try something mediocre and succeed. I know I sound like Tony Robbins right now, but the only way to get what you want is you have to risk it all and roll the dice. To achieve this, you need to be alone.
To put it simply, like I lost everything, you know, aside from my backpack. But and a couple of people that were like there for me during that time, you know. And but initially it's when you lose everything, it makes you think, you know, oh no shit, you know what I mean? Like when you're homeless, like that really, like when you're actually experiencing it and figuring out like where am I sleeping tonight, or do I have enough money to eat? Do I have to ask people for money at this, like now, you know what I mean? Or like even at the time, like it was just getting colder. I was just in a t-shirt. I had to make money, like do tattoos obviously, and like there's times where I even ask people for money, you know what I mean? Just to be able to buy a sweater for myself, you know? And it's like and lose, like that's just like the material stuff of it, like even with connections, losing all these great people, missing out on all these like opportunities and fun experiences and memories I could have made like with significant others and friends. Yeah, that's probably the hardest one, because coming out of such like an isolated period, I wrote this in my notes before, and I said it's hard to know yourself when you're not surrounded by people.
It's a very lonely journey to the top, but once you get there, it'll be worth it. You will be alone with the gods, and the nights will flame with fire. It's the only good fight there is. The reason why we go through all this is to retire. And I'm not talking about the sense of being at an old folks home, eating jello, shagging with the gilfs. But I'm talking in the sense of not living today for an imaginary tomorrow. You live today because it's fulfilling within itself. We do it not for the money, we don't do it for the fame, we do it for the autonomy. Knowing that we can wake up every day, live a purposeful life, and live as present as possible. You will just be here now. I've tried other businesses like dropshipping, SMMA, and Forex, but none of them worked out because I was never present. The only way to be present is if the struggle is fulfilling within itself. The way I see it for myself is to build a business based off your passion, because then you'll have unlimited financial potential while at the same time doing what you love every single day. I know it's corny as hell, but once you find a job that you love, you'll never work a day in your life. You need to realize that this life is temporary. You only get one spin around, so you might as well make the most of it. So if you're gonna try, go all the way. Stay on Average Fools.
I didn't know where I was going. I didn't know what I was gonna say. And I just said, fuck it. I will continue tattooing. I have to make tattooing work. Because if that doesn't work, then like I said, like I'm not, like, it's like life isn't really worth that. You know what I mean? Like it's not, I don't want to say worth living, but it's like I'd just be giving up on such a big dream.